Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. We're broadcasting from Canada. Iran's offered the United States a new proposal to end its control over the Strait of Hormuz in exchange for the U.S. lifting its blockade of Iranian ports while suspending its threat to resume bombing. Axios reports President Trump's expected to hold a meeting today in the Situation Room with his top national security and foreign policy team to discuss the stalemate in the negotiations and potential next steps. Several news outlets report Trump does not appear open to Iran's proposal, which would postpone talks over Iran's nuclear program to a later date. At the United Nations, diplomats from dozens of countries Monday demanded the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, while a resolution calling for reopening the waterway was blocked by China and Russia. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned of a global food emergency after the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran triggered a crisis that sent the cost of fuel, fertilizer, and other commodities soaring.
The economic shock has been immediate, and everyone is paying the price. Acute volatility in energy and commodity markets, surging transport and insurance costs, and the worst supply chain disruption since COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine. These pressures are cascading into empty fuel tanks, empty shelves, and empty plates.
On Saturday, the Iranian Red Crescent Society says it submitted evidence to the International Criminal Court documenting U.S.-Israeli war crimes. The IRCS estimates more than 132,000 civilian structures were bombed across Iran, including hospitals, apartment buildings, universities, research facilities, and bridges. Meanwhile, Iran's retaliation for U.S. and Israeli attacks caused billions of dollars of damage to U.S. military bases and other assets across the Persian Gulf region, with the damage inflicted far worse than the Trump administration's publicly admitted. That's according to a report by NBC News, which reports Iran struck runways, high-end radar systems, dozens of aircraft, warehouses, command headquarters, aircraft hangars, and satellite communications infrastructure at a cost of up to $5 billion to repair. On Monday, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said he had become disillusioned with the U.S. and Israel over the war in Iran and said the Trump administration is being outwitted and humiliated.
Die Amerikaner haben offensichtlich keine Strategie.
The Americans clearly have no strategy, and the problem with conflicts like this is always that you don't just have to go in, you also have to get out again. We saw that all too painfully in Afghanistan for 20 years. We saw it in Iraq. An entire nation is being humiliated by the Iranian state leadership.
Israel's military has launched attacks across southern Lebanon after it issued new warnings to residents to evacuate more than a dozen villages and towns and travel northwards immediately or face death. It's the latest violation of Israel's ceasefire agreement with Lebanon, which was officially extended last Thursday. On Monday, Hezbollah chief Naim Qassem issued a statement condemning the Lebanese government's direct talks with Israel, citing Israel's occupation of Lebanon's southern territories and its persistent attacks.
What the fuck,
In
Chuck?
response, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, threatened to burn Hezbollah and all of Lebanon, unquote. Palestinian municipal elections were held in Gaza's Deir el-Balah Saturday, marking the first elections of any kind in the besieged strip since 2006. Meanwhile, in the West Bank, loyalists of the Palestinian Authority's President Mahmoud Abbas won most races, running unchallenged in many seats. Candidates in Gaza for the Palestinian Authority secured 6 of 15 contested seats. Hamas boycotted the West Bank race and did not formally nominate candidates in Gaza. Voter turnout in Gaza reached just 23%, while turnout in the West Bank was 56%. This is Mohammed Al-Hassanat, a first-time voter in Gaza.
I was happy today because I was able to vote and cast my ballot in the elections. I was surprised, though, that the ballot box was made of wood and the pen was a felt-tip pen, not official ink. Despite that, we are still able to vote and elect and face all challenges. We want to vote. We want to rebuild Gaza from scratch, and we want to rebuild it.
You were surprised?
A former
He's
top
joking, right?
State Department official under President Biden has accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of committing genocide in Gaza with U.S. participation. Wendy Sherman served as Deputy
Holy
Secretary of
shit.
State until her retirement in July 2023. She spoke
Look at
with
the
Michelle
craters.
Hussein of Bloomberg Podcasts.
I think that it is critical that Israel remain an ally of the United States and that we protect the right of a Jewish state. But
Why?
I also believe that the Prime Minister has led us down a road.
Fuck all
we
the
have
way
been
off. With this, it's only the Prime Minister. You all enabled him. Okay, you are all culpable too. Okay, the people that allowed him to be in power as long as they have are just as at fault as Netanyahu. You cannot tell me the whole Zionist project is the problem, not him. This is liberal Zionism. I'm not down for it.
Part of it that has, in essence, created a genocide in Gaza.
More than a dozen Biden administration
agree.
officials resigned their posts to protest U.S. policy toward Israel and its treatment of Palestinians. To see our interviews with many of them, go to democracynow.org. In Sudan, human rights workers say 6 people were killed Monday when a Sudanese army drone struck a camp for displaced people in the western Darfur region. Dozens more were wounded in the
Holy
attack,
shit.
which destroyed several homes and set off panic among displaced families. In El Fasher, the last major city in Darfur to fall to the UAE-backed paramilitary rapid support forces, the Sudan Doctors Network reports over 1,400 civilians, over 900
sucks,
military personnel, and 20 doctors are being held in dire conditions in detention facilities. The RSF is accused of committing ethnically motivated killings and field executions inside the detention centers, which have also seen a cholera outbreak since February.
Nice.
Meanwhile, in East Darfur's Labado, a measles outbreak has killed approximately 70 people, infected around 1,000 others since March as the healthcare system has collapsed. According to the UN, nearly 34 million people, about 65% of the population, are in urgent need of humanitarian support, and famine has been confirmed in Darfur and the Kordofans. This is Saha Musa, a displaced Sudanese woman.
Since we arrived in Tawila a month ago, we've been suffering from a severe lack of services, except for water, which we draw from wells. We have no other services here, and we desperately need assistance. Our children aren't receiving an education, and I'm a nurse, but I can't find work.
Virginia's Supreme Court heard oral arguments Monday on the legality of redistricting referendum that voters approved last week. The redrawn Democratic map could result in the party holding 10 of Virginia's 11 congressional seats, up
Let's
from
go.
6. Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis released a new congressional map Monday that seeks to create 4 additional Republican-leaning seats in Florida. It comes as the Supreme Court formally reinstated Monday a redrawn Texas electoral map, allowing Republicans to flip as many as 5 House seats currently held by Democrats. Justices at the U.S. Supreme Court appeared split on Monday over whether a federal law that regulates the sale and marketing of pesticides preempts state-level lawsuits against manufacturers. The case centers on whether the federal government or state should decide what warning labels should be put on herbicides. Its main plaintiff is a Missouri man who sued Monsanto and its parent company Bayer in 2019 over its popular weed killer glyphosate, marketed as Roundup. He alleged 2 decades of exposure to the chemical caused him to develop blood cancer. A jury found Bayer had failed to warn him of the risks associated with Roundup and awarded him $1.25 million in damages. The Trump administration, which has called Roundup safe, is siding with Bayer in its challenge at the Supreme Court. If successful, thousands of lawsuits alleging cancers caused by Roundup could be thrown out. More than 600 workers at Google have signed a letter to CEO Sundar Pichai demanding he refuse to allow Google's AI tools to be used by the Pentagon for classified work. The employees cited concerns about lethal autonomous weapons and mass surveillance, writing that, quote, the only way to guarantee that Google does not become associated with such harms is to reject any classified workloads, unquote. Yes. Google is reportedly pursuing a Pentagon deal similar to the one OpenAI struck after the Pentagon's public clash with Anthropic. Meanwhile, protesters gathered outside an Oakland courthouse Monday as jury selection wrapped up in the trial pitting Elon Musk against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman.
Yes.
A California ballot initiative to impose a one-time 5% tax on billionaires' assets has gathered more than 1.5 million signatures, well above the 870,000 needed to qualify for the November ballot. The measure, backed by the SEIU, Service Employees International Union, would use the revenue to backfill federal Medicaid cuts signed by President Trump.
Billionaire tax
Silicon Valley executives have poured $93 million into defeating the ballot initiative. Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin, has emerged as the measure's leading opponent, spending $57 million against it and relocating to Nevada before a December 31st deadline to escape the billionaire tax. The New York Times reports that at a holiday party last December, Brin cornered Governor Gavin Newsom and demanded he oppose the measure. The following month, Governor Newsom publicly pledged to defeat it. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump welcomed King Charles and Queen Camilla to Washington, D.C. on Monday. It's Charles' first visit to the U.S. since he ascended to the throne in 2022. He's due to address a joint session of Congress this afternoon. His speech comes after Trump threatened to cancel a U.S.-UK trade deal, mocked the Royal Navy, and insulted U.K. Prime Minister Keir Starmer as weak and cowardly and a loser with no future, unquote. During his U.S. visit, King Charles will not meet with survivors of sexual abuse and human trafficking by Jeffrey Epstein, despite a request by California Congressmember Ro Khanna for a private meeting. Charles' brother Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was stripped of his royal title, Prince, and arrested in February over accusations of misconduct in public office over his close ties to Epstein. 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen of Torrance, California, was charged Monday with the attempted assassination of President Trump following Saturday's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Allen allegedly charged a security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton, armed with a shotgun and pistol. A Secret Service officer was shot but survived due to a bullet-resistant vest. An FBI affidavit revealed Allen had reserved a room at the hotel weeks before the dinner and traveled across country by train from California to Chicago to Washington. In an email sent to family just before the attack, he referred to himself as a friendly federal assassin. He faces up to life in prison. At the White House, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt blamed leftists for the attack.
Those who constantly falsely label and slander the president as a fascist, as a threat to democracy, and compare him to Hitler to score political points are
like
fueling
Hitler.
this kind of violence.
No,
the
we aren't.
left-wing cult of hatred against the president and all of those who support him and work for him has gotten multiple people hurt and killed, and it almost did so again this weekend.
And First Lady Melania Trump's joined her husband in calling on ABC to fire late-night comedian Jimmy Kimmel.
Sure, dude.
Following the gunfire that erupted outside the White House Correspondents Association dinner on Saturday. The First Lady objected to Kimmel's joke last week before the shooting took place that she had a glow like an expectant widow, unquote. On Monday evening, Kimmel pushed back.
I've been very vocal for many years speaking out against gun violence
Yes.
in particular, but I understand that the First Lady had a stressful experience over the weekend, and probably every weekend is pretty stressful in that house. And also, I agree that hateful and violent rhetoric is something we should reject. I do, and I think a great place to start to dial that back would be to have a conversation with your husband about it.
This comes after CBS last year canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert under pressure from President Trump. His show will end in a few weeks. And after ABC temporarily suspended Kimmel's show last September over his comments about the assassination of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
He's like, fuck it, I'm going on
And
Twitch.
those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman in Toronto, Canada, with Juan Gonzalez in Chicago. Hi, Juan.
Hi, Amy, and welcome to all of our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the...
How much longer?
Political violence and rhetoric has got to stop. And that's something President Trump said right after the incident on Saturday night. When you have reporters, when you have media just being overly critical and calling the president horrible names for no reason and without evidence,
Fascist.
without proof, it shouldn't surprise us.
Without evidence and without proof. All we have to do is play his rhetoric. What do you mean there's lack of evidence, sir? Please.
Us.
Todd Blanche, loser extraordinaire. Right.
That this type of rhetoric takes place.
And that was Todd Blanche, the acting Attorney General, yesterday. Saturday shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, prompting more calls to end political violence and the rhetoric fueling it. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna is pushing for a bipartisan commission to end political violence, and he joins us now. Congressman, how would this look? How would this go forward?
Yeah.
You going to analyze it? Are you going to set up a criteria or a marching orders or a to-do list?
Marching orders.
Well, it's
Like,
first
what
an
is this?
acknowledgement that political violence is out of hand, that it is
Yeah.
affecting people in both parties,
How
that we
about-
both parties have a responsibility to address it.
Really?
There should be a national commission,
Ro
and we
Khanna,
can look at
please
concrete
tell
things.
me,
One, the role that social
besides
media
the guy
is
that just
playing
did something
in,
yesterday or
amplifying
Saturday.
the most sensational, outrageous
Who's been
content
fucking
that sometimes incites violence.
violent?
Second, looking at mental health issues. Third, looking at how we can have intervention when you have someone sick, like the person who was
I agree.
tried the attempted assassination on the
You should be able to
president
call,
and his cabinet.
you know,
How do we get earlier intervention?
211
And finally, what are the
or
standards of how we
111
can all do better in our
and
political
say, you know,
rhetoric
there's this
without
guy I know that
violating the First Amendment?
is having issues with guns and talking about, you know, killing the police. Someone that's not the FBI, right? Someone that can help the person, a mental health person that's paid for, and you can just call the number and they're taken care of. Why not? Why not? If you see someone mentally ill on the street, why can't you call 111 and have someone show up and help those people the right way? Not arrest them and terrorize them even more. A crazy person does not need to be terrorized. They're already seeing things. Oh, I haven't seen it. Oh. Right?
We want robust speech. People should be able to criticize me, but there's a difference between criticism and the incitement of violence.
Right. I agree. I think the sentiment is widespread, although it didn't
Yes,
seem like
there's a difference. There's a massive difference between the way the left talks about any kind of violence, even if it's a joke, and the way the right does. Are you fucking kidding me right now? There's no comparison. There's a minuscule amount of that on the left.
was being embraced by Hakeem Jeffries yesterday. But Congressman, do you think it was a good move to have that spirit of what you just said and sit down with somebody like Hassan Piker?
What?
Well, look,
why are you bringing up Hassan Piker again? What the fuck? Oh my God.
Amendment. I go on Sean Ryan. I've gone on Flagrant. I've gone on Hassan Piker. I go left, right. People criticize me for coming on Fox News. Not that I'm comparing you to other podcasts, but I have condemned unequivocally the idea that America somehow.
Fox News is peddling a lot of the same shit they're trying to blame the left on. So you are on the enemy's channel. I don't care. Go on everything. Go on Hassan. Go on Destiny's channel. Rip Destiny a new asshole. That's what needs to happen. Someone needs to rip Destiny a new asshole because that guy needs to shut the fuck up. He's the one causing the problems. His apathetic, fucking anarchistic, democratic weirdness. His fucking whatever centrist bullshit that he's peddling is causing men to have some bad ideas, in my opinion. He's actually a toxic person.
Deserve 9/11? Of course we didn't. It was a terrorist attack.
Unlike Hassan. Like, what the fuck are we even... Like, no one's talking about Destiny. And the reason is because he doesn't have any fucking movement. That's what I'm saying. It's basically the Reddit nerds and fucking online incel loser, quote-unquote, centrist anarchists that are following Destiny.
By Al-Qaeda. I've condemned the idea that anyone would threaten the life of a sitting senator. I disagree with Senator Scott. Of course, he should be safe. So one can have conversations, but condemn any incitement to violence.
You really think...
Like I said, there's a reason Destiny's not on Twitch anymore. Did you forget?
Think that, okay, here's Hassan Piker and some of the things he said.
Okay. Look at Ro Khan's like, God damn it.
If you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
I'm pro stealing from.
Yeah, okay, that was a clip. And he was talking about Republicans. Okay, and it was a joke.
Big corporations, because
this is a joke
they
too.
Steal quite a bit more from their own workers. Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder. Virtually every American has a similar experience.
There is no argument against that. Who can say that he's not doing social murder? Are you fucking kidding me? There's an argument for that. Okay, he's right about that.
Shared experience.
And even if people don't know what that is, they feel it when they go, and that's what he's trying to say. They feel it when they go to try their medical bills, when they have a tooth and they can't pay for Delta Dental.
And where they have a loved one that spent their last days.
His example is you have a loved one who has to spend their last days worried about the bills and figuring out how to pay their bills to die, basically, which is pathetic.
Instead of spending them with their family.
Exactly. I'm sorry, honey, I don't have any time to spend with you because I'm trying to pay my cancer bills while I'm dying. Is what he's talking about. And they're using this against him? This is an actual point. This is actually the reason that what he's saying matters so much, because the point he's trying to make here is very important.
It on the phone, talking to their healthcare provider.
I mean, this is just some of the stuff that he said.
Okay. What is your comment on what he said? Then you can't just put it out there in a vacuum. What the fuck?
He says the Hezbollah flag is dope. He likes Hamas better than Republicans. Landlords are MFers. And you go and sit down with him and you put your reputation on the line and you want everybody else to take a step back?
Sorry, what?
Well, Brian, because I have said that Hamas is a terrorist organization. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. I was one of the first people who condemned the shooting of the United
Hassan's not saying they're not a terrorist organization either.
Millions of people follow Hassan.
And you have so many opportunities to clip this motherfucker. He's on 8 hours a day. Who else is on TV 8 hours a day? Ro Khanna isn't. This motherfucker.
Piker, why? Because he's speaking about some of the frustrations. He's speaking about the fact that people don't have health care in America. Well, there are a lot of people on the podcast world, et cetera, who say things that are outrageous or sensationalist, and I push back when you do that. But we have to understand the anger in this country of people who feel they can't buy a house, they can't afford gas, they can't have health care, they're upset at the system. It's one of the reasons Trump won twice, and we have to engage while condemning the violence. But if you look at, I think I never engage in approving of violence, approving of the incitement of violence, and I'll condemn it when I hear it.
Congressman, I just can't believe you choose to go on. I mean, Cory Booker and others have not. But I want to ask you about DHS funding because it's really important. While we try to get the rhetoric down and people safe, DHS is not funded. Border Patrol is not funded. Border Patrol and ICE, you guys don't want to fund. So therefore, TSA and others. So Department of Homeland Security is not fully funded. You guys have asked for changes. So you have a new secretary. It's Markwayne Mullin. Rubio is out. Now in front, Tom Homan is handling the cities. They basically pulled out of Minneapolis. They now are putting serial numbers on their uniforms. They're wearing body cameras. There's no more roving patrols. To me, this is an opportunity for the Democrats to say, we made progress. Republicans listened. You always say you like to.
Hey, we decided to put a couple more badges on the Gestapo. You know, we thought they might look a little better out there if they had a little bit of protection. So what do you guys think about the Gestapo now? Better? Come on. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying. The fuck? What am I looking at right now? Oh my God. Ro Khanna is one of the best Congress people that exists right now. And the fact that this guy's trying to tear him down is proof of that. Keep it up, Ro Khanna. You're pissing these people off. Good job.
To go across party lines and solve problems. I believe you have enough to declare victory. Instead, the lockout and the shutdown and the denial of funds continues. How do you explain that?
How do you explain that?
Well, Brian, first of all, you know I've gone across the aisle. I've worked with Thomas Massey to pass the Epstein files release. I've worked with people on the Republican side to stop this war that's driving gas and food prices up. But here's the point where we should agree. Let's fund TSA. Let's fund the Border Patrol. We disagree on ICE.
Fuck?
ICE already has $75 billion.
You can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose what you fund. You can't pick and you don't want Republicans to decide what should be funded in the State Department and what this shouldn't be. So when it comes to funding, you already
what do you mean?
Compromise.
But
what the fuck are you talking about? That's the whole idea of what you're doing. Sorry? What a loser. Jesus. What the hell, bro? I'm telling you.
You already got it. You got 4 things. You got 4 things.
You got 4. I got 5.
No, the problem is they already had $75 billion in additional funding for ICE. And the reality is Americans were targeted and raided. What happened in Minneapolis was outrageous. And it's gone in raids without with violations of human rights. And so we just have a philosophical difference. I think ICE needs to go back under the Justice Department like it was for 50 years.
That's a different conversation.
So why don't we fund the TSA workers? Why don't we fund the Border Patrol and bracket the ICE debate?
Why?
I mean, when they
Brian,
already have
kill me.
$75 billion,
We need ICE. And if the previous president didn't open up the borders, ICE wouldn't have to try to round up 15 million people.
Dude,
look,
fuck
we need
ICE.
a secure border, but we need even Donald Trump has said that when you have people working in the agricultural fields, when you have people working in construction, when you have people doing hard work and they're undocumented, have a path to legalization. Why don't we have that conversation? Why don't we have a conversation about what we can do to solve the immigration issue? And we should have a secure border.
But you don't need to hold. You don't have to hold a segment of the country hostage that live paycheck to paycheck because you decide you thought ICE was over-aggressive. So they changed the way they did. They put a new person in charge, and you're still not funding it. It is just maddening, Congressman.
No, they've got $75 billion already funded, and the real issue is that the Democrats want to fund TSA. We want to fund the Border Patrol. We want changes in ICE because we feel that ICE has been a rogue agency. But look, we should have a conversation about what we can do in immigration reform to move this forward.
Congressman Ro Khanna, thanks so much. More
Kill
Fox
me
and Friends
trying to fucking get him agitated so bad.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest.
Dude, I want Ro Khanna on my team, dude. Fuck. Give me that kind of patience. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. Cory Booker is coming up.
Joining us now is Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. He serves on the Foreign Relations and the Judiciary Committees. As we just were discussing, the King will address Congress today. What are you expecting to hear from him as he speaks with your body tonight?
I hope he gives candor, but I'm not sure if we'll get that in terms of our relationships with England, with the United Kingdom, rather. The reality is we have frayed and stretched bonds. We have a president that is bullying our allies, is denouncing our alliances like NATO. He is really weakening what has been a relationship that has lasted us over a century, where we beat the Nazis together, secured a new world order together, and now the president is undermining that. So I wish there was going to be some candor.
What do you mean you beat the Nazis? They're actually in power in America right now. Are you effing kidding me?
Towards that, but it is a gesture from the United Kingdom that's really important. I think he's going to affirm that England still wants to have a commitment to the United States, and I'm hoping that in the months and years ahead we can begin to repair a lot of that frayed fabric and really reaffirm the need the United States has for strong allies and alliances.
The facts are the U.S. and the U.K. relationship is strained right now, and we are seeing this growing tension with NATO over the president's war with Iran. How would you characterize America's credibility with its closest allies right now?
Yeah, Donald Trump has torched that credibility. He's not only lied to our allies, he's lied to the American public. And the best case in point is the crisis we have in Iran right now. Remember, the UK joined with the United States to put caps on Iran's enrichment, to have spot checks and inspections, where literally they sent highly enriched uranium out of their country as a part of that deal. And what did this president do? He ripped up that deal, denounced the alliance, and undermined NATO. And now, as a result of what he did, Iran raced over these years to highly enrich uranium, which was his pretext for this war. It's almost like Donald Trump is an arsonist, caused the problem, but then he's saying, I'm going to rush in and put out the fire that I started. But the unfortunate thing is he's caused a worse situation, as Iran has attacked military bases of multiple allies of ours in that region. And now with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz has caused a global economic shock that the world is paying for, and American citizens as well.
Initially, the president had said this would be a 4 to 6 week kind of timeline for this war. We're now approaching a critical deadline of 60 days under the War Powers Act. That 60-day window for congressional approval expires at the end of this week. And the president can certainly extend it just a little bit by 30 days in order to remove American forces from the war, citing national security. But all war powers resolutions brought up to this point have failed in both chambers. Senator, I know you've supported these efforts. Is there another option for Congress to reassert its authority? And what does it mean in practical terms if that 60-day deadline lapses?
Well, I'm going to fight, and I've been grateful to lead with a handful of my Senate colleagues in bringing every single week one of these votes to the Senate floor, because the Senate's not doing their job. They are allowing this president to enter us into a reckless war, spend $50 billion or more, cause pain, economic pain to all of us at home, and the loss of lives, 13 American soldiers, hundreds more injured. So the Senate cannot ignore this. It cannot go business as usual. We're going to force these votes. And I'm finally glad to hear Tom Tillis, John Curtis, to hear some Republican senators start to say enough is enough. There needs to be accountability here. Well, we're going to force that. If the Senate Republicans don't want to hold open hearings, if they don't want to hold debates, we're going to force that. And I'm going to continue to fight on this because it's the right thing to do.
I don't believe you.
Why don't they want to hold these open hearings and provide that transparency in a format like that to the American people?
Because it's indefensible, and they know it. If you had open hearings on this, they would expose the fact that this president had no strategy.
Right.
He got warned about the Strait of Hormuz. He ignored that. He said that we were going to have regime change. The regime is more extreme. He said that he wanted to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon. Well, their highly enriched uranium is still in country.
Yeah,
he has no strategy.
They now
to
have
get
more
that
reason
out.
to have a
This
nuclear
would expose
weapon.
his failures. But that's
can
what Congress is
rationalize
supposed to do. Not blind partisanship, but the kind of patriotism that comes by checking and balancing a president, by holding him accountable, by providing oversight.
Yes.
So this is a real demonstration of political cowardice, that they are more afraid of Donald Trump than of doing their jobs. I don't care what party you're in. Everybody should want open hearings. Everybody should want the president's team to sit in the saddle, answer the hard questions. But so far, Republicans haven't been demanding it. But I'm going to continue to lead on the floor to demand just that.
We have seen public briefings from the Pentagon where some members of the press have been able to ask questions of the Secretary of Defense and top officials. But The Atlantic reports that the Vice President, J.D. Vance, has repeatedly been pushing back on Pentagon officials in private over their claims surrounding this war with Iran, raising questions about the accuracy of what the public is being told. In particular, he's raised questions about missile stockpiles. Defense Secretary Hegseth and others have said U.S. weapons stockpiles are robust. Senator, does this reporting raise concerns for you that the American people aren't getting the full picture?
No, the American people are clearly not getting the full picture. This doesn't raise concerns. It just confirms what I already know. We've even been in classified skiffs, things that they know we can't talk about, that have shown their incompetence, their reckless disregard for having any strategy. And they're deepening us in another Middle East mire of confusion, chaos, corruption, and incompetence. Not on behalf of our military. Hey, they've done a good job of degrading their near-term combat capabilities. But the fact that this president had no strategy is what's causing a global oil shock right now. Is why Americans are paying so much more money. Is the exposure that he has no off-ramp. That he's actually made us less dangerous, that they have learned that with low-cost drones, even though we have the most powerful military in the world, they can still inflict serious damage to us and our allies. And so, again, they don't want this exposed to the truth. There'll be an unpacking of this for years to come. This will be taught at our military colleges as a big blunder, a fool's errand that this president has led us into that has ultimately made our country less safe. And with prices going up at home, he is not creating America first. Unfortunately, he's showing American failure at a time that our country deserves so much better.
I agree.
Senator, let's turn to Saturday's attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Republicans, including Senator Lindsey Graham, are now pushing the White House ballroom in its aftermath, introducing a measure that would authorize $400 million in taxpayer money for the ballroom. Does Saturday's attack warrant the president's new ballroom? Is that the right security fix?
No, they're trying to use a painful, awful attack. An attack on our democracy, an attack on America. They're trying to use that as a pretext for this corrupt endeavor that they're doing that is the White House ballroom, where corporations who are trying to curry favor, where billionaires who are trying to curry favor are all throwing money at this president for a ballroom that didn't go through any kind of congressional approval that didn't go through the kind of checks and balances where public reporting is showing they're actually making mistakes in the design. This is disastrous. And it's really unfortunate that they're using a moment where we could be having a larger national conversation about political violence.
He's acquiescing. See what I mean? He does not know how to run the narrative. And we need someone that can run the narrative. And he's not that. That's the problem. Trump is running the narrative and he's following him like a dog. Even though he's the opposition. So he ain't acting like the fucking opposition. God damn, Corey.
About the need for grace and forgiveness. A need for us to be reminding ourselves that we are one nation under God. No, instead of that, these folks are pivoting quickly to try to give more cover to shameful actions by the President of the United States. This is a lost opportunity for healing in America.
Bro, the lost opportunity is you to fucking be the attack dog at this point. Are you kidding me? This acquiescing is so pathetic. This is why you're going to lose. You're going to be fucking primaried, sir.
And what I think we need to do, which is having a renewal of American common cause and common spirit.
I mean, that political violence.
Yeah, okay. And you know what it's going to be? Getting you out because you're useless.
Issue is something on a lot of Americans' minds. DOJ officials say in this case, the evidence points to the attacker targeting administration officials. Republicans and White House officials alike have wasted no time blaming Democrats for this incident, pointing to what they say is violent rhetoric coming from the left. What say you?
If anybody thinks they're going to deal with violence in America, growing political violence, threats on judges and Congress people and cabinet officials and the president himself, if you think you're going to deal with that by doubling down on partisan rancor, by deepening a left-right divide, you're contributing more towards our disagreements than you are to healing our country. All of us need to take a moment and realize that we can't change anybody else, but we can be the change we want to see in the world. And that change is in our public spaces, in the sacred civic areas of our nation. All of us should be finding ways on our social media accounts, in our conversations, and definitely what we say about people who have political differences with us. We should be showing grace.
Why?
We should be showing that we have generosity of spirit.
No.
We should be the healing and frankly, the redemption our country
You
needs.
should be the
Not
leader and tell them
just
to
adding
fuck
more
themselves
toxins
off
to the
kindly
system
and
of our body
break
politic.
them.
Senator Cory Booker, thank you for taking the time, and we appreciate you and your extra patience as we were covering the live events at the White House.
Worst fucking
Again,
leader we've ever had. The worst
very
one we've ever had. I swear to God, he is the worst, you guys. I hate him so much. Why is he in fucking charge? My God. They have no vision.
Good evening, I'm Bill Malugin, and this is your Fox News report. The man accused of opening fire during the White House Correspondents' Dinner is charged with attempting to assassinate President Trump. Cole Allen also facing other charges. He allegedly stormed the dinner Saturday night, planning to target Trump administration officials. One Secret Service agent was shot, but was saved by his bulletproof vest. Allen is due back in court on Thursday. King Charles and Queen Camilla are in Washington for a state visit, marking the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. The Royals, welcomed by President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump at the White House. The trip comes as the Iran war tests U.S. and U.K. relations.
Didn't mean to do that.
The king will address a joint meeting of Congress tomorrow. Iran is offering to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and allow negotiations over its nuke program later down the line if the U.S. lifts its blockade on Iranian ports and ends the war. President Trump is reportedly unlikely to accept that offer. Elon Musk is suing his former partner, Sam Altman, over the future of OpenAI. Jury selection began today. Musk is seeking $180 billion, claiming OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, was supposed to remain a nonprofit. The company argues Musk is trying to control the market. And a Florida woman accidentally drives her lifted pickup truck over a $250,000 Lamborghini with the driver of that sports car still inside. Miraculously, nobody was hurt.
That's
in
crazy.
Washington, I'm Bill Malugin.
Literally a reason to outlaw those trucks. Not gonna lie.
Have a great night.
You mentioned the First Lady and Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's comments were, Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow. And he said this days before the shooting, but there does seem to be a normalization of rhetoric about assassinating this.
Not a planned question whatsoever. Nope.
This particular.
I'm kidding.
President. How can this administration try to put an end to this?
Well, I think you heard it directly from the president on Saturday night, Aisha, that in his words, we need to recommit ourselves as a country to toning down the rhetoric, and to unifying around what makes our country great.
Talk to your president, ma'am.
That's true of everyone who works in this White House, but as I said, it's also true of everyone who has a voice and a platform across this country, whether you're on television, a podcast host, people listen, and when you have mentally disturbed individuals across the country who are listening to this crazed rhetoric about the president day after day after day,
when they're hearing the truth being reported about their president saying certain things, what do you mean? God, delusion do you have to live in?
inspires them to do crazy things. And unfortunately, it's not just the media, it is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy.
Yes, he does.
That he is a fascist and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, "We'll see you in the streets." Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, "We will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war." These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters. I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
This is disinformation and misinformation online. There will be bite-sized clips that will go viral to the point where there are Americans in this country that believe that what happened Saturday night was staged. How does this White House tackle that with social media companies out there, whether it's X, Facebook, Instagram? How do they work with these companies to make sure that doesn't get out of control?
It's certainly a good question, Aisha. I don't have tangible answers for you on what we're doing with social media companies, if anything at all. What I will say is it's very important to us that we get the truth and the facts about this case and any case out there as quickly as possible to dispel some of that crazy nonsense that you do see running rampant online. And I think the Department of Justice and the FBI thus far have done a good job of disseminating the truth and the facts about this alleged attempted assassin, the perpetrator in this case, and I understand he'll be arraigned in court very soon. You all see that, and the Department of Justice will be giving a briefing and an update later today. So as far as we're concerned, just providing maximum transparency, and hopefully people will believe the truth rather than the lies and the conspiracies that so often do go crazy on social media.
Hopefully. God damn, dude.
Yeah, there was also a. There was also.
Show the thumbnail.
There was also a. there was also a lot of other controversy.
Why does his hair grow like cabbage leaves? It looks like a cabbage.
He's got like 2 dreadlocks on the right.
You're saying that's not TV ready?
Look, the point is.
I feel like I can go on TV now.
Well, you know what? It's not. I listen. If Michael Tracy wants to wait outside of a Hampton
industrially
Inn
ravaged Juanes Canal to
fight Jim Acosta, that's his business. But apparently, the story goes like this: that Michael Tracy was at the Substack party. I guess there was a Substack had a party, and he was harassing this. I mean, and I only say that because I wasn't there. Everyone around who saw what Michael Tracy was doing, I'll just put it this way. Now, they could all be lying. They could be. I just want to make it absolutely clear.
Just like all those Epstein accusers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could all be lying, like he seems to think. That he was harassing Julie Brown, who has been like the
downtown Julie Brown,
longtime reporter on Epstein. You know, she's from the Miami Herald. She's been reporting on this for, it sounds like well over a decade.
Yes, I mean, without her reporting, the story may have never come to the fore after his plea agreement.
And that's what I guess Michael Tracy seems upset about.
Yeah.
Now, at the Substack party, I suspect what Michael Tracy would say is that I was just doing what a reporter does.
Oh, and by the way, earlier he had showed up at Tara Palmieri, another independent reporter, has video of him at Virginia Giuffre's memorial. So he's a dog with a bone trying to besmirch the victims of Jeffrey Epstein.
I wonder at a memorial what you think, like maybe this is a good place to find interviews, or if he was reporting on it, it's unclear to me. Like what I mean, it's unclear to me what that adds to his reporting, but you know, I don't know. He's a reporter and I'm not a reporter, so I don't have a sense. But here is his side of the story. And then we'll just go to like what Julie Brown said. But here, let's scroll up to the top.
Julie
What's
Brown.
the order of this?
Jim Acosta threatened to fight me tonight at the Substack party. I mean, look, Jim Acosta is not as physically imposing as Maxine Waters, but I could see why Michael was a little bit afraid and needed to take to Twitter. Jim screamed at me, "Let's step outside," and I replied, "Okay, Jim, let's go." And then he had security do his dirty work instead, pussy, at Acosta. And yes, he ultimately wanted to fight me over
the thing everyone wants to fight me for.
Over me defending this.
But no, it's interesting how he's characterizing this, because if you were to read just Michael's reporting of what happened, that's what he's doing on Twitter here, right? Yeah. And yes, he ultimately wanted to fight me. I wonder what that means. He ultimately wanted to fight me over Epstein shit, and I would have fought him if security didn't intervene. First off, I think we could probably set something up for charity. Yeah. And I think I might be willing to donate like everything that it takes for that to happen.
Oh my God, me too.
But putting that aside, what does that mean ultimately? And I guess what it turns out to mean ultimately is that Michael Tracy was
I'm sorry. Just saw the next
Still have no idea whatever went on with Trump tonight. Just know that Acosta threw a effing hissy fit. Pussy, Jim, meet me in front of the Hampton Inn, and he gave the address of the Hampton Inn.
Damn, drop the location.
United States. And then also made sure here, this is what got me the photo of the front of the Hampton Inn. Honestly, we can do better than this. This is what we
literally waiting for you right now, you piece of shit.
Give me another go in front of the Hampton Inn. Took a photo of it. First part Acosta responds.
So Acosta said, now remember, he said ultimately because of the Epstein shit. Right. Now, I don't know Jim Acosta's reporting either. I don't know if Jim Acosta's been on the Epstein beat, particularly with Substack, or if he really had a problem with Michael Tracy, because it certainly sounds like what happened, according to the reporting from Michael Tracy, is that Jim Acosta came up to Michael Tracy at the Substack party and said, "How dare you are reporting?"
Say that about those women.
Or maybe he said, like, "I want to interview you."
Sorry, folks. I don't know what's happening. What is happening?
Right now and ask you some questions about your report. That's what it sounds like. But now Acosta weighs in. We saw what you did at the Substack.
The real crazy chicken. How you doing? Why do I support Hassan and everyone around him? Because what you believe about him isn't true? Have you entertained that as a possibility? Doesn't want anyone dead. Huh? Oh, it is though? And we all know it. Who's all y'all? You and all the goblins over in Asmongold's chat?
Party.
What?
You were bullied.
Like, okay, whatever.
Julie K. Brown, journalist, in a menacing way, and would not let her walk away from you. Your behavior was shameful and ugly. So yes, I stepped in, as did several other people, including
free will to be a dumbass.
Being security to escort Brown away from you. Now, okay.
Wait, another woman that Michael Tracy is harassing?
Matt, no, because you got a you see that link.
Do you support a president who wants people dead? Why do you support the people he wants dead? That's terrorism.
Think Julie K.
No, actually, you don't know what terrorism is. If you think that is. And what clip are you talking about where he's like, people need to die? Who? You, like you said, you're free to have free will and think on your own. Should you send me the clip? Just tell me what it was referencing. That's all I care about.
Brown right there, clicked on that, because here's the thing. We need to assess, we have two different reporters who are relaying to us, the public, on their reporting.
And Hassan's good at what he fucking does. It's called agitprop for a reason. You don't understand how propaganda works, do you? Anyone that tells you that leftists that have Hassan on their label, or like me, are on Twitch and are leftists, that any of us are wishing for anyone to be dead, any clip you see of us is always a joke. There is none of us that want violence ever. The only time we advocate for violence is if we're personally attacked in our personal homes. Okay? Yes, plenty of us leftists have guns, but we use them just like rightists would if we're attacked. Not like idiots. We're Americans, bitch. And he said it himself, and you've got the full hour clip of him talking about how he wants to kill people. Unlike Asmongold, who's never said to asked to kill anyone. He's never said, "Oh, I should kill people." There's not clips of him out there saying that aren't taken out of context. Like what? So why would you support someone like Asmongold saying that? Or the president of the United States of America? No, under the context of him saying it, it's obviously a joke. Everything is about context. What are you talking about? There's good trans jokes, there's bad trans jokes. There's good jokes, there's bad jokes. Under the context, it can be different. It doesn't matter. I'm asking you, even if you assume that Hassan and my ilk want people to die, I want to ask you why you would support someone like Trump, if you're a Trump supporter, who is already talking about people dying, killing people. For real, not joking. In fact, got elected by saying people should die. Oh, yeah. Even if you accepted that leftists like to shock their dog, it doesn't make them and their policies wrong. You understand? Overall,
first,
they're still
Michael Tracy
much better than what the president's doing, or Pete Hegseth, or Marco Rubio. And who do you support then? You can't be in the center going, oh yeah, this is great. The water's great here. No politic here. Fucking idiots. What? What is this growing amount of people that I'm encountering in my chat and on the internet that are thinking like you? There is only one route. It's you got to go left or right. You can't fucking sit around the middle and be a Destiny fanatic anymore. You can't do that. Do you not see? That's what got us the fascist. If you don't support Trump and you see him as anything bad for America at all, you will understand the reason he's in power is because of the fucking liberal Democrats and the fact that they're feckless and they didn't get shit done. And even a lot of conservatives will have that same fucking argument about the Democrats that I can agree with. The bulwark will sit there and have the same argument as me about this because they're right. No. Yeah, you're right. The left wing is powerless. So let's take down Hassan, the only person who is even representing the left, the true left, because we know, and you and me agree already, that obviously Democrats aren't the true left right now, and they're not going to get us anywhere. If you think the Democrats are the left, then you're mistaking him for the left, because the left has not been in fucking power. The libs have. And that's a different fucking story, is what I'm saying. Understand? Like, yeah, the left wing's fucking up by not getting their people appointed to power. The best leftists we got right now is Mamdani and AOC. And people on the left have complaints about both those people. But we're still going to support them because they support the leftist agenda. Even if they fucking shock their dogs and you don't agree with that, who cares? Your fucking president is a fucking Nazi racist pig, basically. And we're like, okay, let him do whatever he wants. What? I'm good. It doesn't work, dude. The holes you can shoot in the Hassan bad fucking, it doesn't matter. Yes, we call Nazis Nazis. It has meaning. And you know it does. You seem like a smart person to me. Yes. He's a different, okay, call him something different. Nazi 2.0. Neo-Nazi. New Nazi. I don't care. The things that he is doing are fascistic, Nazistic things, period. There's no other things to compare them to. And the reason you do that is because you're doing propaganda. Hello? Yes. No, I can call him a Nazi. I do. I will. And like, if Gutfeld wants to go, I guess we're going to call everyone Nazis now. I guess I'm a Nazi now. I guess I'm going to go. What's up, my Nazi? I mean, those are Gutfeld's words. Yeah, fine. I will not accept my country going down to Nazis, even if people like you don't see that they are Nazis. There's several times where you could come in my channel and you would have seen something that I said and how it was coming true the next day. And that happens a lot. It doesn't happen on the right. Anyway, you got me going. Thanks for the conversation.
Says that ultimately this was about the Epstein shit.
What do you see more on the right than on the left? What do you, I missed. I'm sorry. I was ranting a little bit. I think you get my point.
Too close to the truth.
And, you know,
too close to Julie's
Jim Acosta.
face.
I mean, did I answer your initial question when you came in here? I'm really actually curious to understand how people like you think, because like I said, I've been encountering a lot more of you, especially between the age of 22 and 30. And I want to help solve a little bit of your anxiety and apathy.
And then we have Jim Acosta say,
I feel like it's led by apathy. And I get it. I was where you were, where you are now for a lot of my life. The center, whatever.
I
mean,
you are harassing an individual.
Again, a woman, shocker.
Again, a woman, shocking.
It's such
you
a
would not let her
coincidence.
walk away from you. And myself and others intervened, including security.
As bystanders.
So now we have to assess.
Yeah.
Now we have to assess. I wasn't at the party. You weren't at that party. Matt wasn't at the party. Brian probably was. I mean, the way he travels, but circles he travels in. But
what
we don't know.
BFFs was Michael Tracy.
Here is Julie K. Brown.
My voice thing just goes haywire sometimes. Okay, I see more videos. Hold on. It's about Hassan. I don't think I want to watch that, but I'll check it out. Hold on. Bro, literally named Slop Roach. Like, come on. Are you a H3 fan or something?
Thank you to all the kind people and security guards who helped me tonight. No.
Good. Because that's a fucking dead end right there. No. Yeah, right. See. Okay, I know I'm not, but I think he's right. Yeah, right, dude. What I'm saying. I know where you're standing. Like, don't listen. You're listening to the man, the fuck.
one should give someone a platform to attack and harass people, even if you disagree with them, says Julie K. Brown.
There's so much wrong with H3H3 and his political opinions that I just kind of I don't even have time to fucking, you know what I mean? And no, you're right. I won't watch this slop roach guy. Like, a lot of this stuff that you're seeing on YouTube is just there to like get you to click on it. It's fucking clickbait, dude. I'm sure he's fine, but whatever.
Another point, I think she goes on to thank Acosta.
I don't usually watch creators that I've never seen before.
For helping.
What the fuck is happening with my computer?
Over Epstein shit,
Stop.
and I would have fought him if security didn't intervene. First off, I think we could probably set something up for charity.
Yeah.
And I think I might be willing to donate like everything that it takes for that to happen.
Oh my God, me too.
But putting that aside, what does that mean ultimately? And I guess what it turns out to mean ultimately is that Michael Tracy was
I'm sorry. Just saw the next
still have no idea whatever went on with Trump tonight. Just
Okay, I already saw that. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat.
first, Michael Tracy says that ultimately this was about the Epstein shit.
Too close to the truth.
And, you know,
Too close to Julie's
Jim Acosta.
face.
And then we have Jim Acosta say, you are harassing an individual.
Again, a woman, shocker.
Again, a woman, shocking.
It's such
you
a
would not let her
coincidence.
walk.
I mean, yeah, whatever. You got arguments with them. That's fine. You made that clear when you came in. I get it. USSRs. Yeah, like we should. No, he's right about that. Once you start analyzing geopolitics a certain way, you start to see things other people can't see. And other people have talked about that too. I mean, he might have not understood it or spoken it very clearly, but his point was good. Hello? Okay, my computer is about to reboot. Looks like you're going to lose me, chatter. Well, I'll be back quickly, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's fine. Tell me what kind of true traction people like Destiny, H3H3, and Dylan Burns even have. And I'm a small, I don't give a fuck. I'm not talking about myself. I don't give a fuck about myself. Like, obviously my stream's crashing. The amount of traction that they have, like, is a small, minute amount, you know? Hey, what's up, Gataranja? I'm good. Yeah, and then you're gonna, are you gonna come in with like a oh, all the fucking, what the fuck is happening? I gotta reboot my computer. Sucks. Hold on, maybe not. Yeah, Stalin was a motherfucker, right? Everyone knows that. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Close the goddamn fucking program. Excuse me, chat. Holy shit. Yes, everyone does our wordings in fucking war, including Israel. Like everything you're talking about is in the past too, and it's like we don't support any of that shit. None of us support the bad parts of communism. None leftists are over here going, oh yeah, the things that happen in the bad parts of communism, you know, we love that shit. Yeah. No one's supporting the fucking piece of shit Russians right now. Putin's a piece of fucking shit. Like, who told you? Hassan does not support Putin either. He was talking about previous Russia, which, are you insane? Have you even done your fucking research on the USSR? You're just taking talking points from Sneeko. What the fuck? God, Aranja, I was just talking with this chatter about how I've been experiencing a lot of chatters that are similarly ilked like they are, where they're centrists and they think Hassan's evil and, you know, the usual. Good. But then you're coming at with arguments that I don't have that much USSR experience, but I know enough to know that, yeah, Hassan's not evil, and fucking USSR, if they would have, yeah, there would have been a lot of different things that would have happened. That's the point. You have to use rhetoric when you're in the business that we're in. You have to use leftist framed rhetoric, just like the right does. You cannot battle fascism and disinformation that continues to dissuade people like yourself that there's nothing to do except give up and be in the center and hate both of them and argue the way you are, that someone like Hassan is bad for anyone, period. Yeah, there's just shades of gray, bro. Come on. That's what I'm saying, too. I'm really curious as to what just happened to my computer because that hasn't happened before. It's fucked up. I'm glad I have a dual stream setup. Yeah. And robust audio. I know. I mean, I have been. That's gay. Who cares? It's not gay to hug someone. The fuck? I'm not going to unmod that, but. Dude, you're stuck in 1920. You're thinking, what are you doing? Come on, bro. Look, loving humans, other humans, is not gay. It's called compassion. Yeah. There's different kinds of love. Like, love is not gay. Fucking kidding me? Yeah, gay means happy. Right. That means you should be happy. Yeah. And you're in a leftist space, which we don't like people that are fucking homophobic either. I don't. So? You can even fucking side hug. How's that gay? What the fuck? You're spending time on me, and I support an evil person named Hassan. Oopsie. You're going back on your promises. Bro, calling Hassan and people like me terrorists is fucking idiotic. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. No one's gonna get anywhere with that. Your tactics are fucking lost. Lost on us, anyway. Yeah. Just because you hear Hassan's name now every fucking day on Fox News. Bro, I can't get my fucking Firefox to boot up. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, good thing I can have a conversation in chat today because I have no ability to play a fucking video for you guys. Apparently. No. It's factually wrong, whereas calling Trump a Nazi is not factually wrong. Whether or not you like Trump or not, and you think he's the God King, he's definitely a Nazi. Like, what? Like, even conspiracy theorists, like, have this whole thing where you can find it on YouTube. Yes, update my fucking software, please. You can find it on YouTube. It's like, the Nazis never died. We just brought them into the United States. They still live among us. And here's the succession line from Oppenheimer and all his ilk. Like, and then you got Elon Musk, a direct fucking Nazi, coming from South Africa, being the apartheid state, being allowed to doge us. And you're like, oh no, not Nazi. Oh yeah, Eric is fucking rock dumb. No, that's all we need to do. Because it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, it's not. What about it proved? Like, you can't just go, oh, dude's not. It's not a Nazi. He's not a Nazi. Not a Nazi. What? What does that even mean? I am saying he's a Nazi because XYZ. And if you listen to my channel and you fucking listen to people like Hassan and you go to their channel and actually listen to him rather than just their clip chimps, you will find out why we think they're a Nazi. You will see video after video of us talking about it, just like you watch Chud Logic or whoever, or fucking Chudcock from Jackstan talk about politics when he shouldn't be, you know? Instead of ingest some shit that actually makes sense instead of this bullshit that Destiny's spewing. If you support a terrorist. You sound like, you're starting to sound a lot more like MAGA than you're putting on to be, friend. Seriously. Like, that statement right there. Blatant. Okay, I call someone a terrorist. That immediately puts them into they need to be punished severely. You're just playing along with the fascists. Because Shock Dog and said something about USSR. It's freedom of speech, bitch. Look at the other side. Look what Fox News is saying. Look what Trump can say. Why aren't you saying anything about that? There's equally and more dangerous things, even if they're not taken out of context, about Trump. What do you mean? Yeah, sure. And Trump's a good person, right? Trump's not a Nazi. He's a good person. Yeah, I know. You don't agree with the Nazi thing. Didn't we talk about this? We might have. One of my chatters was talking to me about it. The thing is I am. Why does everyone give the right a pass? The right can say any fucking thing they want. Asmongold sits over on his little weaselly little channel with his 40,000 bots and fucking spews some rat-infested bullshit. Talks about people like they're cockroaches. And says things that are disgusting about people. And no one fucking lifts a finger. One leftist says something about the USSR, and I got chatters in my channel saying he's an evil person. Go over and complain about Asmongold. Go over and complain about Destiny's chat. Look at his chat alone. What the fuck are we even talking about here? The only reason we're talking about Hassan is because he has actually got clout and actually has traction and actually has a point. Otherwise, you ignore him. So it's good. Keep it up. Yeah. I'm hoping that you're a young person because you have a chance. Otherwise. All right, I think that somehow I clicked my mouse 300 times and it opened 40 Firefoxes and 20 Unreal Engines. You're not young? Fuck. The closer you are to where lead was in gasoline, the less of a chance you have of seeing reality for what it is. There we go. I said it. Who's more Pegasus? I don't actually.
All right,
honestly, I work full time. This is kind of a side project that I do 3 hours a night, 5 days a week. I really enjoy it. Obviously you can see I don't have a shit ton of viewers, but today I do because Hassan's not on. So it's fine, whatever. Love you guys. Hit the follow button. But no, I don't know everyone. The people I know and talk about are just people that I probably run into. I know most of the good leftists on Twitch. Oh no, I don't want help. I don't need help from anyone. I'm fucking my own person. Besides, I'm a lot more fun. Plus, I do things with games and I actually play games, and I, sometimes have special guests from Marathon.
So this has been a long.
If you've never seen that, you might want to stick around. You might want to look some on VODs. I got some shit out there. Yeah. Y'all know I don't need fucking Hassan's help.
Time coming, but we finally.
I like the people that I taught. I want more people in here. Yeah, of course. Gives me a reason to stream more subs, more follows, whatever. I'm happy to have an argument with you too, though. See, you're not going to find this in many channels. So. Yeah, there's plenty of people locked in. Don't worry.
Finally reached the climax here. It appears like the Trump regime has officially murdered free speech in broad daylight.
He's not.
And they did it for Israel. Wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding. So take a look at this. Under Trump guidelines, immigration officers could deny someone a green card for a social media post that says, "Stop Israeli terror in Palestine," or for participating in campus protests, according to exclusive documents reviewed by the New York Times.
Yeah, under Trump guidelines, immigration officers could deny someone a green card for social media posts that says, "Stop Israel terror in Palestine," or for participating in campus protests, according to exclusive documents reviewed by the New York Times. Instead, they got this dumbass, the real crazy chicken. I'm calling you dumb because you're actually like one, honestly. I'm sorry to insult you, but in the meantime, he's in here telling me how Trump's not a fucking Nazi. What the fuck is this shit? I know you're smart. See, that's called hyperbole. I'm using it to excite an emotion. Right? Yeah, and Gadaranja is my favorite chatter, so don't fuck with him. And they're not mod either, so. Yeah. I mean, like, look what I just read to you. You don't think that's Nazi? Straight out of Orwell. What the fuck are we talking about? Have you not read Orwell? Have you not read anything Nazi? Have you not, like, what the fuck? What world have you grew up in? I'm so
So, in other words,
you're just ignoring things because they're right in front of your face, brother or sister, whichever you are. I don't care what the old meaning of Nazi. I'm calling these guys neo-Nazis. I'm calling them Nazis now, today, in American parlance. 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 What the fuck? Parlance. I'm done. My fucking mic is blocking the S's. What the fuck? No, it's not the 1940s Nazi. Holy shit, dude. What is happening? Stop with the gate. Nazis. Nazis! Nazis. Fucking shit. Ivanka's great. I have, like, whatever. I mean, you just got the gut. I watch Gutfeld a lot on here. You should tune in more and come hang out because you'll see your best buddy Gutfeld on here. And I'll be yapping. I'll be yelling at Gutfeld. I know. What the fuck? What is happening? I can't say an S word. Is it better now? Check my sex. What the fuck? Guys, I'm Donald Duck. I can't say S's. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think Trump. Yes, you can objectify him, please. Dude, you've said that 40 times. We're never going to agree on it. Trump is not. Look, why is it pissing y'all off so much, especially y'all centrists? That's what I'm trying to get at. All the centrists are fucking pissed that Trump's being called a Nazi because it seems like it's actually starting to hit home.
We are now revoking your constitutional rights.
Right.
If you are an immigrant.
How do you feel about this, chat?
Even a legal immigrant. If you have a green card, we simply will not accept you having the quote-unquote wrong opinions from our perspective. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And by the way, this is one very small step removed from, I don't like your take on the minimum wage. Or I don't like your take on the war.
Again.
Or I don't like your take on fill in the blank with whatever political issue. I don't like your take on MAGA. I don't like your take on Trump. You are not welcome in this country. So apparently they only want people in this country who are sycophantic little weasels who will, felch Trump in public. Those are the only ones they want in this country. So let's go through some of it here. So New York Times are.
I know, but you probably don't think that Israel is now also the bad guy? Because I do. That's why they're in cahoots with the Nazi Trump. Because the Zionists have reversed flip being Nazi. and turned into the bad guy. What do you mean? Yeah. Why? No, I'm specifically calling specific people Nazis. I wouldn't call like someone who voted for Trump a Nazi. The real grizzly chick, yeah. Some of them are. Yeah. No. Oh my God.
Article. The title is Under Trump, Green Card Seekers Face New Scrutiny for Views on Israel. In Guidance to Immigration.
Strictly remove the religion of being Jewish from it. Okay. The actions that they portray, that the Zionist regime, including genocide, is equal and as egregious as what the Nazis were doing. Hence the comparison. The amount of children that they continue to kill, the amount of brothers and sisters in Lebanon that are actually my fucking ancestors that are dying right now because of them, because of their desire to take over land that doesn't belong to them, has nothing to do with them being Jewish. They're the ones conflating that, not us.
Officers, the administration describes participating in pro-Palestinian protests and criticizing Israel as overwhelmingly negative factors. Now, again, I want to reiterate, this is not something that a free country...
Obama killed people. He's the... I used to call him the drone strike king. What do you mean? No. Plenty of people were complaining. People like me were complaining about Obama when Obama was super popular and no one wanted to hear it. Correct. You're right. No one wanted to hear it. Just like no one wants to hear what Hassan has to say right now either, or what any leftist like us have to say. We're using the word Nazi for hyperbole to get people to pay attention. Do you not understand? It's not a direct comparison. It is a method to get to a goal, which is to help you all understand this is dire. You can't sit in the center like y'all are doing. You can't sit there and go on the fence. Well, I don't like either party. You have to like one or the other right now. There's no other choices. The center doesn't exist anymore. It is gone.
Should ever take into consideration. You have an opinion I don't like, therefore we're not going to allow you in the country. Doesn't matter if you bust your ass, if you work hard, if you're a family person, if all the criteria are met. I don't like your opinion on this thing, so you're done. By the way,
no one's leaving the left. Like there's no one leaving the left.
So in theory, at this moment, you could criticize America and get a green card, but don't criticize Israel because that's something.
No, because the center road is the choice to allow the fascists and whatever you want to call the regime we have right now, which is actually terrible. Okay. If you don't call it a Nazi regime, you call it something else. I use the word fascistic because it also does that. Okay. People don't like that word either. Buttfeld gets all butthurt when he hears us call them fascists. What's up, my fascists? What's up, my Nazi? What's up, my fascists? What's up, my Nazi? That's going to be the next thing he's going to say. I guess we'll just be doing that now.
Somehow even worse. For decades, immigrants who have followed the rules and have not broken the law have had hopes of earning a green card, a document that allows them to live legally in the United States and gain a pathway to citizenship. But under new guidance issued by the Trump administration, immigrants can now be denied a green card for expressing political opinions such as participating in pro-Palestinian campaigns.
What is your goal, then? Like, but what is your goal? Even if I agree with you and go, okay, Trump's not fascist and he's not a Nazi. He's just the worst president ever to exist. And everything he's done is put us back 10 years in any kind of like scenario where you're going to win as a pleb. Because I know you're in a Twitch stream. You're not a millionaire. That's true. You wouldn't be hanging out on my Twitch stream.
Campus protests, posting criticism of Israel on social media, and desecrating the American flag. Are you kidding me? According to the Internal Department of Homeland Security training material.
I mean, you like $7 gas? Because I don't. It's $6.39 where I live. It's always that. It's always that guy comes in. You're gonna come in like, I don't care. I got mines. Fuck you. Yeah, I know you. I know the ilk. I know what you're. I know how you. I know you're feeling. Like I said, I used to be you. My point is, that's why I have so much understanding.
Reviewed by the New York Times.
Once you realize it, though, you're gonna realize it. You're gonna one of these days. You're gonna understand my point of view, whether you come to it directly or like through another medium, and it's a completely different ilk than what I'm even talking about. Eventually, I think most people are.
So what I want to point out here real quick, people wonder why, oh, wow, there's not really massive protests against the Iran war on college campuses. I wonder why that is. Well, here's your answer right here.
Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. I am here for a conversation. Like, I'm not Cenk Uygur. I'm not going to sit there and fucking let the right get away with shit. No, but yes, I will have a passionate argument.
Here. That, you know, we now live under the Palantir surveillance state.
You're better.
And they decided to absolutely crush dissent and have legal consequences for people who are protesting. And so they've disincentivized anybody from going out.
I asked you what you thought about the guy that I'm watching and about what he said earlier. Do you think that is a good policy for a president to do? Take away your rights that are God-given to you by the fucking God-given Constitution in this motherfucking United States of America that most people, even rightists and leftists and middleists and fucking Reaganites, used to spout off about the goddamn Constitution. Now it's not we don't care about it.
Out there and telling the truth, or they might have any future career prospects. Absolutely.
Meantime, I'm going to spend time in some Twitch chat arguing how he's not a fascist because I'm a semantics guy. Okay, I get it. I've already given ground. Now I'm asking another question. How do you feel about that? Because I'm actually curious.
Ruined. I should also be clear that burning an American flag is literally a protected constitutional right. We had a case on this in the 1980s. Even the conservative justices, even Antonin Scalia, said, look, I might not like it, but it's 100% protected speech. And now they're saying, we don't believe in that. We don't believe in freedom. We don't believe in liberty. We don't believe in Enlightenment values and those so-called Western values that we always suck ourselves off for that are supposed to be so special. We don't actually...
The real Grizzy Chicken claims they're not a H3H3 fan, but I'm beginning to think they're a snarker.
Believe in that. We believe in primitive, savage, barbaric bullshit where if I don't like you, I don't like what you have to say.
Maybe he needs a lesson from Han.
I get to ruin your life. They say the documents which have not previously been reported show how expansively the Trump administration is carrying out a directive from last August to vet green card applicants for anti-American and anti-Semitic views. Now, let's remember, guys,
But, like, it is just the same stuff. Come with the actual argument that makes sense. Not a debate. Just something like, I gave you arguments.
They consider anti-Semitic being against the Israeli genocide. They consider that anti-Semitic. If you compare Israel to the Nazis, which is correct to do, they say that's anti-Semitic. And apparently...
See, and in no way is H3H3 leftist. H3H3 is more like the bulwark, honestly, without a conscience. Like, the never-Trumpers. The never-Trumper Republicans. That's more like the H3H3 vibe. On steroids for Israel. Riding hard for Israel.
I was wrong. I said, you're allowed to criticize America, but you're not allowed to criticize Israel. Apparently, they're saying, if you're even...
Also, I would dissuade you from going in people's channels and arguing when you haven't watched actual Hassan videos fully, if you just watch clips. And the same with H3H3, because like you're arguing the points for them without knowing the points being argued. The Mace No, he zaps his dog regularly. It's a joke now. I mean, not really.
Anti-American, we're not allowing.
I mean, it just becomes a meme, you know? It's fine. Yeah, it's been a year. People are milking it. It's like, come on, get a better argument. Like, tell me that Hassan's view on leftism is fucked up because he wants you to have healthcare. You don't think that's a good idea. Make an argument for that.
UN. Guys, this stinks to the high heavens of NSPM 7. And as you all know, this is basically the whole of government mindset approach change, where they said instead of going after terrorism, like back in the day, it was like, oh, we got to defeat communism. Then it became, we got to do the war on terror and go after Islamic radicalism, right? Well, now they decided just dissent. Leftism, liberalism, any sort of dissent against MAGA. And so if they consider it anti-American, an opinion you have, which literally is just like criticizing the right government, well, they say that.
Yeah. Famously, people get deported for zapping their dogs. Meantime, there's actual people like breeding pit bulls to fight each other. And, oh, not cruel at all. There's fucking football players betting on dog races and dog fights. There's unsanctioned dog fights in Florida everywhere. Like, yeah, sure.
That's completely and utterly unacceptable. All right,
and we're worried about some fake shock thing. Deport him. We can care about multiple things. Yeah.
Continue. The administration includes criticism of Israel as a potentially disqualifying factor with the training material.
I really suggest you spend at least this much time that you spent on me on a Hassan channel one day. At least watch one of his videos on the things you're talking about. I know there's a YouTube video out there talking about how you're wrong about what you think about Hassan. And it's just like, you don't need to watch them very long to understand you're being misled. I've already watched enough Destiny. I've already watched enough fucking TYT. I was a TYT OG member, bitch. All right? So I know all about his tread. I can speak on that. I can speak on Destiny because I saw him on fucking Twitch before he was even super famous. Before he even got fucking banned. Like, hello?
Citing as an example of questionable speech, a social media post that declares "Stop Israeli Terror in Palestine" and shows the Israeli flag crossed out. That is so insane that they think this is unacceptable. This is
No, yeah. My chat's cool because there's not a lot of people in it and you can actually have a conversation. And you can talk to the fucking chatter. I mean, the streamer like me. No. You put Hassan's on to like hear him in the background while you're vacuuming.
Literally the only moral.
Hassan is like what you put on instead of, CNN all day. Fuck them.
Correct position. Stop Israeli terror in Palestine is just like the only morally correct thing you can say about that. Crossing out the Israeli flag is the only morally correct thing you can do. Or burn it. There's the only two morally correct things you could do. And they're pretending like this is so egregious that you shouldn't be allowed in the country for it. No, if anything.
I mean, literally saying these words are going to get you deported.
I wouldn't allow the other people in the country, the people who are waving the fucking Israeli flag as they're, years deep into their fucking genocide. The people who support Israeli terror.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question for you, Crazy Chicken. How do you feel about your tax money going to Israel? Do you like that?
They're the ones who you should be looking at twice. That's like actually welcoming into your country like card-carrying fucking Nazis. They say the materials were distributed last month to immigration officers at U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security and handles applications for green cards and other forms of legal status. They reflect how USCIS, long considered the gateway agency for legal migration, has rapidly transformed under President Trump into another cog in his administration's deportation machine. The agency has worked to strip naturalized Americans of their citizenship and has hired armed federal agents to investigate immigration crimes. They've also, by the way, they deported and kicked people out of the country for making a joke about Charlie Kirk. I'm not kidding. So they are the biggest little fucking cancel culture snowflake bitches, but the crime in this scenario is being right about stuff. If you're correct about stuff, they will try to ruin your life and kick you out. The administration is also granting permanent legal residency to far fewer applicants. Green card approvals have fallen by more than half in recent months, according to a Times analysis of agency data. Remember that person who spoke to Congress and said, there's...
No, but you know the amount of money we give them, right? I mean, even as a anti-war leftist, I could argue that the Ukraine money was worth more than what we're giving Israel, because Israel...
This whole scam going on right now in the government where people who went through the proper process and paid their processing fee, they're just not being approved. Like, nobody's even looking, nobody's even processing their claims.
Of course not.
And so the government is basically stealing billions of dollars from legal immigrants and doing nothing with it. And the guy who was testifying to this had even a Republican congressman.
Oh yeah, we're processing
Kennedy
forms.
was looking at him going, "Are you serious now, son? Why is this happening?" And it's like, well, this is their fucking policy. Their policy is fuck not only undocumented immigrants, their policy is fuck documented immigrants. Fuck upstanding citizens. They don't, fuck you if you disagree with them. How have you not understood this yet? Do you not get this yet? Quote, there's no room in America for aliens who espouse anti-American ideologies or support terrorist organizations, Joseph Edlow, the agency's director, told Congress in February. That's good.
Right. So Chatter would agree with this guy. Right? So you like this person. Zach Kohler's your kind of guy. The good old CIS. We love the CIS. These three-letter words, three-letter agencies, we love them. Famously, they never do no wrong. They're always right.
Good to know, bro. So now
CIA, always right. FBI, always right. Yeah. CIO, the CEO, they're always right. They're the good guys in the story. Yeah, just go straight D. Always straight to the dick. You always got to just grab it and just go straight for the D. Straight for the D. Literally, that's how I read that when you said. I'm like, why are they saying? Why straight to D? The fuck? I get it. I'm kidding. Okay. From February 22 through the end of Biden's administration, the United States allocated approximately $180 billion in emergency funding to yeah. In fact, I was talking about that on my channel while he was doing that and going, I don't fucking like this. I don't want this money going towards Ukraine. Thank you very much. I'm tired of these lib fucks, including Biden, who I'm not going to vote for. These fucking liberal Democrats who say they're anti-war and they still fucking send money for war. Fuck you very much.
Now we know we're not allowing anybody who's pro-IDF into the country. Certainly nobody who's in the IDF.
I know.
But anybody who says positive things about
But
the
I
IDF,
read
we're not
it.
allowing them in the country, right? Because
And
they're
that's
the
my
number one terrorist
thought.
organization on the planet.
I'm like,
they say
why-
critics of Mr. Trump's
why are they
approach say the
talking about
administration
going
is seeking
straight
to
the
restrict
D?
legitimate
I wasn't
political
talking about porn or nothing like that, man. What the fuck?
speech and has conflated opposition to Israeli government policies with anti-Semitism. That is literally exactly what's going on here. Basing green card decisions on ideological screenings is fundamentally un-American and should have no place.
That's just what Trump has given Israel since he's been in office. But please look up how much money we've given, say, Israel since 1990.
In a country built on the promise of free expression, said Amanda Barron, a senior agency official under President Joseph R. Biden. Administration officials said they were defending American values. If you hate America, you have no business demanding to live in America, said Zach Kohler.
Than Trump did to Israel. But what's your point? Those aren't good comparisons. Like I said, how long have we been giving money to Israel and how much of it? Your dad was paying for Israel's wars. Your dad was paying for it. My dad was. It's fucked up.
Spokesman for USCIS. Now here.
No, I know, but what? But the war hasn't been going on that long in Ukraine either. So also much more expensive than 12 billion additional money on top of what normally we send Israel, which is what is it?
Here's why this is complete and utter horseshit. I don't think there's anybody who's more critical of this country than I am. And the reason why I'm so critical of this country is because I love this country and I want this country to be better.
I agree.
This country's all I've ever known.
This is my take too. I agree with Kyle. That's why I do what I do. Because I actually care. I actually see the problems we're going to have if we don't fucking get Trump out of office.
Right? Born and raised. I mean, I've only been out of the country like once.
Yeah. I've been out 3 times.
So I'm not, I'm
well
traveled kind of within the U.S., but outside the U.S., I'm not well traveled at all.
I want you to have health care. I want you to have fucking
that's where
dental.
the criticism
I want you to
comes
have a good job. I want you to have
one
a
of the
free
founding
car.
fathers said
I want you to have
dissent is the
free
highest form
buses.
of patriotism. And so for people to criticize the country, it's like, hey, I want you to do better. I want you to be better. I want to fix this thing. Right? Like if you punish your child because they do something fucked up, is that you hate your child? No, you love your child and you're trying to get them back on the right path. But they tarnish everything. They flip and reverse everything. Because in reality, they're the fucking demons who hate this country.
Yes, and he agrees with me on this. They're flipping this script. And, dude, the real Gizzy chicken, you're eating it up. You're eating it up every day. Like, they're flipping a script on you. They're making you feel like they're gaslighting us, you guys. They're gaslighting you. They're making you think you're the problem. Even you centrists. You think the MAGA likes you guys? You non-voters? They know they can't get you. They might. You're a might. They might get you. They might not. Depends on what they say. Approximately 300 billion since 1948, which is a better time actually to talk about it. Since 1948, we've given them $300 billion. That's Israel. Is my hat Adidas? Yes. Why?
Because they want to drag this country to hell.
I love the Gestapo. I love it when they kick down my door in the middle of the night. Please come to my house. Please kick down my door. No, I'm not brown. I'm white. Don't kick my door down, please. The Gestapo won't come to my house. Never.
Want this country to be like fucking Nazi Gestapo freaks. Okay, they want it to be an authoritarian hellhole. They want no more free speech. They want no rights for you. Okay? Abigail Jackson, a White House spokeswoman, said the administration's policies had nothing to do with free speech and were meant to protect American institutions, the safety of citizens, national security, and freedoms of the United States. The administration has moved aggressively against immigrants for expressing political views that officials have deemed anti-American, making ideology a central part of its immigration vetting process.
Yeah, the old reinforced by chatters. If you don't like our country, get the fuck out. Got him! Mic drop! Got a zinger. I got a zinger for you. If you don't like our country, get the fuck out. Not a boomer.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio has revoked the visas of pro-Palestinian student activists, including one who wrote a column criticizing her.
Okay, now, take that clip, put that on fucking YouTube, and say, 87 hates X.
Our universities.
Boy, the controversy.
Response to pro-Palestinian demands. That's Rumeysa Ozturk.
Obviously, that was a joke, right? Context. If you hadn't seen the previous 5 minutes, you wouldn't understand what I just did there, would you? Not buying it, huh? Okay, never mind.
By the way, the Department of Homeland Security has proposed reviewing the social media histories of tourists seeking to visit the United States. Think about how crazy that fucking sentence is right there.
Very nice.
Even if you just want to come here to visit this country, God forbid you've criticized Israel online, well, we don't want you in this country anymore. It is a joke that we ever sucked ourselves off as the land of the free.
Yeah, what the fuck? He's saying the same thing I said earlier, like, where are these people that were right-wing that were like, Constitution, motherfucker, Constitution.
Right? It's a sick joke that we ever pretended like we were all about free speech. This is so far from it that it's approaching like some of the worst in the world. You're going to vet people who want to take like a fucking vacation to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm traveling from Canada. I'm going to go do some slot machines.
It's like,
The fuck
oopsie.
you are, bitch. I see you said something mean about Benjamin Netanyahu in
Yeah.
2017. You got to leave. Immigration officers have significant discretion in deciding whether to grant foreigners long-term permanent residence. By the way, I think there's going to be lawsuits over this, and I think these people are going to lose. They have long considered a variety of factors, include criminal
Yeah, if you
records,
thought it was
national
hard to
security
get to
threats,
Canada
family ties to the
now,
United States, and employment
before.
histories. Yeah, all of those things are fair game. It's fair game to use criminal record to determine whether or not you want to let somebody in. It's fair game to determine, a job history, family in the U.S. That's all fair game. It is not fair game to micromanage political opinions. It's just not. All right, this goes on. You guys get the gist of it here. But, this is crazy. This is so crazy. We've now created a system where the so-called immigration officials, the immigration enforcement agencies, are the criminals. They are the criminals. I mean, how many times have we gone through what ICE has done? I mean, it is, if an alien landed today and you just, in a dry, factual way, described what ICE has been up to in this second Trump regime here, the alien would look at you like you have 12 heads. And the alien would say, like, why haven't you fixed this? Like, this is crazy. Because we're talking about an agency that does mass kidnappings and abductions and human traffickings. No due process. There's over 4,000 people that are still missing in this country because of ICE. 40 at least that have died in ICE custody. There's a lawsuit because ICE was doing slavery at their detention camps, okay? Literal criminals are joining ICE. They're assaulting senior citizens and tear gassing babies and shooting priests in the face with pepper balls and tear gassing cops and, deporting people for having...
No, it doesn't sound like Nazi Germany whatsoever. I mean, the problem I have is that, like, the things that Israel is doing in Gaza, I see coming here. And I'm not the only one.
Alone. I mean, it's the most insane thing you've ever heard. Raiding fucking schools and meatpacking facilities and Home Depot parking lots, and they lynched a guy. I mean, it's insane. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about a bullshit pseudo-legal infrastructure that is justifying and rationalizing all sorts of crimes against innocent immigrants. That's what this is. And this is no different. This is no different. This is as authoritarian as it gets when you micromanage political opinions and consider criticism of Israel or the U.S. to be beyond the pale. I don't know how many other ways I could say it. They're the criminals. These people need to be dismantled. All the ICE Gestapo thugs need to be locked the fuck up. That's a fact. But all these people harassing innocent immigrants and ruining their lives because they said correct things on social media, no, you are the criminals. You should be fucking fired immediately and should be nowhere near a position like this where you have this much power ever again.
Agree.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out.
Okay, check this out. This actually makes me sick. Someone that is making money spewing the kind of stuff this guy does, with the amount of subs he gets and the amount of ads
you
he
can spend.
plays.
Okay. How much do you make?
This is his response to how much he makes. This is psychotic behavior. Having this much money and being this deprived is kind of it's a new thing.
I'll tell you how much you can spend.
Okay.
Okay. How much do you make? You just had tax issues, right? So you probably know how much you make.
I
That was a
know how much
rounding
I
error.
owed. I owed over $4 million.
Okay, so $4 million.
So yeah. So he's making $8
million. Was that after estimated taxes? Was that the back pay?
No, that was my estimated taxes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so $4 million. So you probably make after taxes. What is that?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know what the answer is. I got a 1099.
Are you not joking, right? Because we're outraged. At this point, no one cares to listen to us unless we are outraged. You think he's only getting taxed $4 million on 11? That's less taxes than I get taxed as a percentage. How is he getting a 1040 or a 1099? No, he's doing a 1099. So how is he? Because he's got the Twitch revenue. That's a 1099. That's independent contractor. That's immediately like 39%, isn't it? He must have a good tax lawyer. Holy shit.
And it was like millions of dollars.
So $4 million. So you probably make.
You got it cut in half.
After taxes. What is that?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know what the answer is.
He's lying.
Got a 1099 and it was like millions of dollars. I don't even know where it came from.
You probably have.
It says on the 1099 where it came from Twitch. You bitch.
6 to 8.
That's pathetic. My ass hasn't even got a payout on Twitch.
$6 to $8 million left. After
I can't even fucking put ads on and don't want to. I don't want to get paid for ads.
the taxes.
More than that, probably. A lot more than that.
Really? Well, how are you only paying 4?
Yeah. See, he's confounded too because he knows it should be 39%, and there's not many loopholes. What the fuck is he doing?
Well, I mean, like, I think.
Oh, it's in crypto and it's offshore.
It's probably like just not that much more, but like.
Okay.
More.
Spend $2 million a year.
$2 million a year.
$2 million a year.
Oh my god.
Wine and dine your boy. Take him on a yacht.
$2 million. What the fuck would I do with?
I think your number's probably right.
$2 million a year.
I don't know.
Between Kick and Twitch, he's probably making 11 million. You're right. Off for he's like probably spending a good amount on bots though too. Like he's probably got 30K bots. That's crazy. That's expensive. Fuck it, ain't chat. I'll try to sound more academic just for you, friend. Going forward, I promise. No, but I think that it's kind of proving what I was saying earlier, where we're using language that is inflammatory on purpose, right? In order to get the attention that needs to be happening. It's like yelling fire, you know, in an actual place where there's a fire and no one else is like seeing it. You know, that's kind of way us leftists think about it. In my opinion, it's like, yeah, we see shit, and then all of a sudden, a week later, it happens. That happens more often than we want to talk about. Like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. The amount of traction that people get off of shit like Hassan Bad. I don't know. There's none amount of traction on the left that gets you that kind of fucking... I don't think I want to watch this today. Something else instead. Yeah. Like probably he could have gotten a bereavement somehow because he's such a high taxpayer. Like they were like, okay, you owe us $7 million, but we're going to cut it to $4 million. No big deal. Because the lawyer was good. I don't know. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Okay, I saw this the other day and I was like, holy shit. Thank God they uploaded this.
They're doing something. They're doing.
Sure, yes, you're right. They're buying them boys' clothes.
Okay, my favorite fuckstick, Bill Maher. And that word is an old word that we used to use. And I use it intentionally because I don't think there's anyone in my life I've ever met that describes fuckstick more than him.
Telling them you're a boy now.
No, they're not telling them. They're just agreeing with. They're like going.
Well, they're
okay,
agreeing
honey.
with an 8-year-old because when has their judgment ever been off at 8?
You know,
like another person that's getting paid way more than he's worth, like Asmagod or Asma Scum.
You know,
Anyway,
you knew you weren't gay, right?
That's.
It's not different.
It is different.
No, it isn't.
It's okay.
Hold on.
Good luck. They're doing something. They're doing.
Sure, yes, you're right. They're buying them boys' clothes.
And telling them you're a boy now.
No, they're not telling them. They're just agreeing with. They're like going.
Well, they're
okay,
agreeing
honey.
with an 8-year-old because when has their judgment ever been off at 8?
You know,
Anyway,
you knew you weren't gay,
Oh
right?
my God.
That's.
It's not different.
It is different.
No, it isn't.
It's okay. Good luck with President Vance.
Okay, since my friend David Cross was on the Bill Maher, what do they call it? The
Club Random.
Club Random.
It's so random.
It's like,
so random.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Oh.
I'm really high.
Random.
So let's have this conversation.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Club Random sounds like a Disney channel
It really
show.
is the girliest,
Right, like right
millennial
after
girl.
right after Hannah Montana, it's Club Random.
There was a lot of things in this episode. I didn't watch the whole thing, but there was a lot of clips I've seen that I find quite agitating.
Agitating. Sam's gonna get mad.
Bill Maher is a bit of a coward. He'll bring on people.
Hey, if you want someone who's academic, here's your guy. I think Uncle Sam is eloquent. Much better at making a point than I would be. He would have set that chatter straight in 10 minutes rather than fucking dragged on for 3 hours.
Who,
Like
are
I
not necessarily spending all of their days working
But it's
out
entertainment.
these
I'm good.
rhetorical arguments about this stuff. And he's a condescending, disingenuous.
So you're telling me you don't think
See, he's thinking of the word fuckstick too. I know he is. Come on.
David?
He's like disingenuous, condescending.
Disingenuous.
So you're telling me you don't think David Cross anticipated having to talk about Sia Weaver while he's promoting his comedy special?
Zoran's tenant, like Czar.
Yeah.
I don't think
she's
so.
a
Do you know who Sia Weaver is? Who
Right?
I've been obsessed with
I
because
don't
she
think-
had a tweet.
I don't think he was
you're in a
prepared for
bubble.
that.
You also probably don't know about what Zoran's wife said when she was 13. on
Yes,
social
you
media.
live in a bubble where you don't look at the tweets of the First Lady of New
1911.
York from 15 years ago. What kind of bubble are you living in?
I like having a sort of like obsessive quality or obsessing over something and being like, you're in a bubble if you don't know exactly what
You're
I'm talking
in a
about. If you
total
don't,
bubble.
you
if you
can't
know.
quote 30 Rock word for word like I can. You live in
Can't
a
name
bubble.
all 3 Packers kickers on the roster right now?
Yeah.
There are two cohorts of people who know who Sia Weaver is.
Never heard of Gwen Stefani?
One, people who are interested
doubt.
in housing policy,
You're in a bubble.
like really into housing policy. Two, people who watch this show because they saw her on the program, I don't know, a year or two ago. Three, People who are in the right-wing cesspool looking for any reason to have a problem with Zohran Mamdani because he is incredibly popular and has probably been, I mean, just objectively speaking, accomplished more in his first 120 days or whatever it's been than any politician they can name who's actually done something. Like, you know, it's
like
arguable whether Trump was
than any
destructive,
Democrat
more
ever did in New
destructive,
York in
but
100 days.
Any politician that has an actual positive agenda, you'd be hard-pressed to find any politician who has achieved more in 120 days.
He would
may
know.
not like it.
He lives in New York, by the way. So his studio is in Brooklyn. FYI. So he's speaking upon some truth.
But he's delivering on what he said he was going to do. But today they just came out with another
jalapeno in the eye.
tax
bad
proposal
idea.
that looks like it's going to happen. It's going to raise another $1 billion to deal with this deficit that Eric Adams left. But they're so desperate to find something wrong with Mamdani, they got to go deep into his wife's tweets and talk about one person who is working in a massive administration in New York City with a massive budget, working on housing policy, and not even they're talking about her policies. They're talking about a tweet she had 5 years ago. But be that as it may, here's Bill Maher talking to David Cross. Is this the one about the trans? But okay, yeah. Here he is. Bill Maher is so worried about little children that he doesn't have.
You need to be checked. People need to be checked.
I think they'll be...
including your little girl.
Okay.
She needs to be checked. I don't know what...
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that little bitch with her black friends and trans friends and not even understanding. She doesn't know.
Wait, she has trans friends in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they know they're trans in 3rd grade.
I knew one of her friends. I knew when he was a girl.
How old?
I think just turned 9, and is just the coolest kid. I think
boy to girl, girl to boy.
Girl to boy.
Girl to boy. Okay.
And she has another very close friend who's not in this school, but who's boy to girl at 3.
But girl to boy, you know, I mean, I knew somebody who said to me, actually more than one person who said to me, a woman.
First of all, straight to anecdotal evidence, has one personal story about whatever he's talking about, which he always goes to.
And said, you know, I was what they called a tomboy. If I was alive now and acted the way I did then, that's what they would have done to me.
They did it to her. No one's doing anything to anyone.
Well, nobody's doing this to her.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Can I just pause to say, as somebody who, I cut off all my hair for like 2 years, wanted a stud in one ear, only wore a LeBron James, it wasn't LeBron James, it was Shaquille O'Neal Lakers jersey, and was a real tomboy for quite a while. I did not get a lot of pressure to change my gender, and I didn't end up doing that. It was a phase because I was allowed by my loving mother to show, to experience that kind of thing and experience my gender performance.
Your mother did that to you, allowed you to cut your hair and wear a boy's shirt.
Yes.
Holy shit.
That last I checked, LeBron James is...
It was Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal is a boy.
Man. Yep.
And a man. And you were allowed to... And your mother did that to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
To quote Veep, not doing anything is doing something. You know? They're doing that to you.
That made me think of it a whole different way. But it's just... how he opens this act talking about kids, he has no idea what he's talking about whatsoever, but speaks with the utmost authority to a father.
He has zero understanding. The idea of people going through, of kids going through a phase, or ultimately not it being a phase, and allowing them to express themselves, he perceives this as some parent is pushing an agenda on the kid. His perspective on parenting is so twisted, and it's even more twisted based upon the fact that he does not have a kid.
It's crazy.
It is.
I check these kids.
Doesn't like kids either.
To the way I did then, that's what they would have done to me.
Well, nobody's doing this to her.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
literally, nobody is doing this to her.
How old?
She is, or he is, either 8 or I think 9.
Okay, then somebody is doing something because 8 or 9-year-olds can't.
No, you know what they're doing?
Can't do anything.
They're
not doing
responding to the child, and the child says,
express however they
I want boys' clothes. I want to be addressed as a boy. And the parents are going out and buying boys' clothes like they would if she was a tomboy. And the only difference is referring to this kid in the way that the kid wants to be referred to. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, social transition.
And there are numbers on trans-affirming care for kids that just show how infinitesimal this kind of thing is.
Correct.
Lancet had
studies
numbers
don't
on when
this
they
kind of
looked at
behavior.
younger kids when they were socially transitioning and beginning that kind of care.
Socially.
That 98% continued care as teens, according to Lancet. And then there was also a pediatric study about the very notion of detransitioning, where they looked at kids who had socially transitioned and after a 5-year period, how they ended up. 94% continue to identify as their socially transitioned gender. The remaining 6%, you can have that. Half of them stopped care and identified as non-binary, so that's 3%.
Like 2 people.
And the other less than 3%, they decided, yes, I'm going to remain as my birth gender. But that was heavily weighted when analyzing this in pediatrics with kids who were under 6 years old before they had undergone any bodily changes, any of these hormonal changes. The detransitioning part, where kids are exploring their gender identity, yes, that tends to happen when they're much younger, before any of the medical interventions that he's talking about have even occurred, let alone even if they're in the time when kids are experiencing
it's a whole
puberty.
process.
A lot of this stuff is
You have
just
to do it
hormone blockers and other and hormone treatments, or I should say puberty blockers and hormone treatments that aren't the drastic medical intervention that he's talking about and are used on cis children very frequently, which Bill Maher doesn't say shit about.
But this is it also reveals the fact that this has nothing to do with protecting kids or any of that stuff, because there is no
care.
physical intervention that's happening at this point. It's just simply, I'm going to buy you the clothes you want, and I'm going to respond to you in the way that you want me to.
Yeah, she, her.
And it's like,
why would you fight?
And kids know, like,
and it is exactly.
You're a fucking prick.
If you are concerned, like Bill Maher and his ilk pretend,
we don't need more of
you're making changes, irreversible changes on these children who are going to later. This is exactly what you would want them to feel comfortable and have the opportunity to try out what they want to try out as they grow through, up until adolescence. This is exactly what you would encourage if you are sincere in your deep concerns.
And did you see how he gets fixated specifically on the boy to girl one?
Oh, definitely, because when he said,
can we go back a little
girl
to that?
boy, you can see he's almost disappointed.
Because there's a lot of misogyny and patriarchal notions that are undergirding the fixation, particularly with trans women. One, because a lot of men view themselves as the dominant sex, and a rejection and understanding a rejection of masculinity towards femininity is offensive to their notions of superiority, even if these men don't fully acknowledge that that is how they feel. That's how they've operated in life. And it could happen to me. And in the same way that gay panic is elicited by these kinds of men that are not in touch with their gender expression or sexuality, or repressed.
They're turning the fucking frogs gay, and then they're gonna trans everyone. Trans for everyone. That's what leftists want.
Or hateful in some way. It's also this fear that they're projecting onto it, that they may at one point be attracted to a trans woman, and how gay does that make you?
Yeah.
They never focus on trans boys and girls. You really rarely hear it.
Disappointed when Cross
said it first. Right, because they're like, oh, you want to be a man? Of course you do. Of course you do. But a woman, ugh.
Oh my God.
Right. Then I can also transition into my sports argument.
But the sports argument is the avatar for It's just I'm adding to it. The sports argument is the avatar for for also. They're reaffirming their notion of their masculinity by fixating on it because they pretend that they're protecting girls. Like they're protecting women and girls from the scary
and no one
men.
wants to talk about
and that makes them feel
the
like,
three-time
oh,
Olympian.
okay, I understand the boundaries of gender now. It doesn't make it so scary for me.
Caitlyn Jenner.
It was a girl.
How old?
I think just turned 9, and is just the coolest kid. I think
boy to girl, girl to boy,
girl to boy,
girl to boy. Okay.
And she has another very close friend. Who's not in this school, but who's
because he's like girl to boy. Okay. He's not like girl to boy.
Boy to girl. At 3.
A girl to boy, I mean, I knew somebody who said to me, actually more than one person who said to me, a woman said, I was what they called a tomboy. If I was alive now and acted the way I did then, that's what they would have done to me.
Keep picking the couch.
Well, nobody's doing this to her.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
literally, nobody's doing.
Who did the tomboying to that girl?
Who was that story from?
Who imposed the tomboy on them?
Also, did you see? David is talking about somebody he knows, and Bill has the temerity to be like, no, that's not how it is.
No, somebody, one of the reactionary TERFs that I talked to said that they would have made me a man if I had been a tomboy at the time. Yeah. You talk to hysterical losers. What do you want from me?
Literally, nobody is doing this to her.
How old?
Literally no one.
She is, or he is, either 8 or I think 9.
Okay, then somebody is doing something because 8 or 9-year-olds can't.
What they're doing?
Can't do anything on their own.
No, they're buying them boys' clothes.
Okay, then they're doing something. They're doing.
Sure. Yes, you're right. They're buying them boys' clothes
and telling them you're a boy now.
Okay, no, they're not telling them. They're just agreeing with. They're like going.
They're agreeing
honey.
with an 8-year-old because when has their judgment ever been off? At 8.
You knew
Anyway,
you weren't gay, right?
That's.
It's not different.
It is different.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
It's okay. Good luck with President Vance.
Okay, see, this is a fascinating transition. For Bill Maher. To go from we're talking about this to now your attitude, he can't argue with it.
Right.
Because he realizes he has no footing here to argue this. The idea that they're doing something, they're buying the kid clothes, which incidentally, I don't know what made
and he's like, literally, no one is doing this.
a tomboy that he was talking to, but I would bet it was the clothes.
Right.
Right, it's whatever the tomboy clothes were at that time.
And as someone who I went through a phase like that. I was obsessed. I was experiencing that. I was in 4th or 5th grade, and I loved swords and stuff like that, and sports and things. I was more of a tomboy. And if my mom had been like, no, I'm not taking you to the boys section, how sad that would have been. And then I remember coming out through that phase a year and a half later and being like, I want to dress like a girl again. But it was just something I wanted to experiment with. And this kind of thinking and the removal of agency from these children and not honoring their emotional life is abuse. And I love how this guy, it's abusive. And I love how this guy's the new atheist kind of person. But exactly what he's advocating for, this childless drunk freak is advocating for, is exactly what every evangelical parent would be saying.
Completely fundamentalist.
So go back to religious and maybe do a sequel where you're on that side now.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, the complete lack of awareness.
I'm no longer an atheist.
Everything he is talking about is religious fundamentalism vaporized.
Right.
That's all it is, religious fundamentalism. But you take that patriarchy, which is really, really about religious fundamentalism in a relationship with God, and then it just sort of like patriarchy is like where you start to count it. But before that, you know, above that, you could go to authoritarianism and dictatorship or monarchy, and above that is this religious fundamentalism. And as you go through, I mean, that is what he is espousing. This sort of like, you cannot deviate from gender construction, even if it means that the parents are evilly buying boys' clothes. And but here he is talking about now. This is his manufactured sort of like, this is why we lost elections. A, bullshit, but B, like, wait a second. This is what you're going to, like, this is all of a sudden, you're going from this deep concern to children that it's actually an electoral
we lost
strategy.
because we had the trans.
Go ahead.
Because we supported trans folk.
You know, you knew you weren't gay,
You knew you
right?
weren't gay.
That's
It's not different.
It's different.
It is different.
No, it isn't.
It's okay.
No, it isn't.
Good luck with President Vance, because as I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost. And this is a case of that.
Truth bomb.
We voted for the same person.
Right.
You're just why she lost. Because America hears this, and they're going to go, Bill's right. 8-year-olds can't really make decisions on their own like this. That's what most people are going to say. And this is where the Democrats are, with David Cross living in Brooklyn, with Mandami Loving. And this is why we're going to vote for J.D.
How absolutely mind-blowingly stupid this is.
He said we're going to vote for J.D. Vance.
First off, I mean, just like in his own terms, why wouldn't all those people in the Midwest who are determining how they're going to vote go like, well, at least Bill's on our side and he's a Democrat. Like the absolute like stupidity that Bill Maher looks upon the voters with, which, you know, fine. People are stupid. He is absolutely stupid. But there's no data behind what he's saying.
No.
There's no, like all of what he's saying is just absolute garbage take, and he has to move to this sort of theoretical realm to make this argument about that it's really an electoral issue. It's stupid.
Well, he says that at the end there that 8-year-olds can't be making decisions on their own like this, right? And we're pulling this up. This is an old clip we've played before, but it's rare to see Bill Maher, who's childless, engaging with children. But there is some footage
Feels
of it.
illegal.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Let's see what he asked them about. Maybe what kind of subjects they like in school, what sports they're interested in, what TV shows they like. Bill Maher doesn't think that 8-year-olds can adequately express their gender identity, but he does think that they can answer questions about subjects such as this.
Uncle Sam.
There you go. You hear that, Paige?
Yeah.
If that happens to you, you're going to do the same thing?
Yeah, I would like go where all the tabs are open and I would just close it like a bunch of times.
Right.
Is this the right part? I don't know.
He's talking about tabs.
Okay, all right, here we go. Just go back slightly.
You could, right?
Yeah, if it takes me to one, I just exit it because there's nothing that.
Well,
They're talking about porn.
Go back early.
Pop-up porn.
Sorry.
From parents, not that I'm one, but I hear they're very worried about what their kids are seeing on the internet.
I don't think I go on bad websites or anything.
But you could, right?
Yeah, if it takes me to one, I just exit it because there's nothing that.
Well, I mean, say you're interested in like climate change, so you start looking on that. That's a big issue. I mean, your kids are worried about it for good reason. Okay, climate. It leads you to weather. Then you're looking up stuff about the weather. Then it leads you to Stormy Daniels. All right, now you're into porn. Now you're into a porn site. What do?
I exit it.
There you go.
Yeah. Oopsie.
You hear that, Paige?
Yeah.
If that happens to you, you're going to do the same thing?
Yeah, I would like go where all the tabs are open and I would just close it like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. First of all, I want to have a talk with the parents who let them sit with Bill Maher.
Please.
But that's
Please keep 'em.
appropriate. I mean, I don't know how old that girl is, but seems like around the age that
Dude, please keep kids away from Bill Maher.
he's saying that they
He's
can't make their own
protecting the
decisions
children.
Yes.
by mentioning the word porn to 2 little girls.
I mean,
do you think they know what porn is?
well, they do now.
God, Bill Cosby wasn't even that creepy when he did
know,
kids
right?
say the darndest things.
But this is the guy that's going to lecture you about what's right for your kids. Don't let him near your kids.
And getting back to like the idea of like, well, you need to follow, like, this is why why the Democrats lost.
Yeah.
If this dude is that concerned about electability, I'm very curious if he's changed his perspective on Israel and Gaza. Because if you want to talk about hard data, the reason why the
Israel
Democrats are
dick sucker.
withholding the autopsy is because it shows
He's been to the railing wall.
Harris's position on Israel and Gaza
He's had that all expense.
was a significant factor in her defeat.
Yep.
And the polling has only gotten more dramatic in that way than it was a year and a half ago. And if what he's saying has a shred of integrity about the reason, well, you're the reason, David Cross, because people are so concerned about what David Cross feels in Brooklyn, or you're dominating the idea that you don't think there's a problem with parents of 8-year-olds buying them, opposite
Me in
gender
Los
clothes
Angeles
or whatever it
versus
is.
me in deep red Los Angeles.
Exactly.
What the hell is he talking about?
You're going to be responsible for empowering JD Vance. When's this guy
In
going to do
LA?
a similar examination with Israel and Gaza, which there is
Never.
a lot of data, a lot more data, I would say.
Never.
A lot more unequivocal data that Democrats have to change. In fact, we're watching Democrat after Democrat
Correct.
change their positions because of it, and I guarantee you has not changed his whatsoever.
Guarantee it.
Oh no, he was saying that the Democrats need to lecture their voters, particularly young people who learn everything they know about Israel from TikTok. That's what literally what he was saying like 3 weeks ago.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Just an absolute.
It's funny how David like pointed at himself like I'm why we lost, and then Bill says America's going, Bill is right. Like David didn't connect with the narcissism of like two of them are speaking on behalf
He couldn't
of
understand like you can't possibly be saying this.
Right.
His reaction here.
That was so good, actually. True.
wait.
Oh my God. All right. That's it. I'll see you guys Wednesday. I won't be seeing you Thursday.